my name's Katie, and today I'll be doing an expository speech. I would like my audience here to introduce themselves, if you guys don't mind, please.
I am Sandy, and I'm a neighbor of Katie's.
And I'm a friend of Katie's.
I'm Galen. I'm Katie's friend.
I'm Carol, and I'm a friend of Katie's.
I'm Abby, and I'm a friend of Katie's.
I'm Sam, and I'm a friend of Katie's.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. The reason that I brought you guys here today is to do a speech for my online speech course. And I do have to warn you, there is some inappropriate content in today's speech. So I'm glad we have all adults here, and I hope that this does not offend anyone. Okay. The phallic palace and sexy bubbles. What in the world is this lady talking about? I'm sure is what you're thinking. I'm talking about subliminal messages. I'm sure some of you have probably seen this famous phallic palace, which features a penis shape. In the castle of the original Little Mermaid home video, you could find this picture on the background. It turns out that the artist was up at 4 a.m. drawing this picture and didn't even mean to make it resemble that. Since then, obviously, the picture has been changed, so it's not so inappropriate and so that it does not resemble a penis. And right here, we have a Coca-Cola poster that came out in the 80s. And in this poster, I'll let you guys look at this ice cube right here. And there is a picture of a woman leaning in for some sort of kiss that I will let you guys determine for yourselves. Okay? So let's start, before we understand why people have become so concerned about subliminal messages, we have to understand a little bit of where they came from and how they work. Okay, the definition of subliminal, according to dictionary.com, is existing or operating below the threshold of consciousness and being or employing stimuli insufficiently intense to produce a discrete sensation, but often designed to be intense enough to influence the mental process or the behavior of the individual. So basically, subliminal messages are meant to go to your subconscious mind, discreet enough that you don't realize it, but intense enough to influence your behavior or your thinking. How scary is that? Subliminal messages can be found in various areas, such as advertising, videos, movies, just about everywhere. They didn't come to our attention until 1957. And in 1957, the outrage began with James Vickery. He was a market researcher, and he decided to come to the public and have a meeting with certain people in the public, saying that he had performed a secret experiment. In this secret experiment, he posted the words, "Hungry, eat popcorn, and drink Coca-Cola" during the showing of a movie called The Picnic. And in the movie, he just flashed these words. It was just 1/50th of a second, so it was so fast that your conscious mind could not even register it. After he performed this experiment, James reported that it increased the sales of Coca-Cola by 18%, and the sales of popcorn by 57%. So of course, when he told the public that it increased the sales, of course the media is going to run with that because they want to be able to sell their products. Did you guys see that flash on the screen? Mm-hmm. That was how fast he flashed it on the play. Okay, and that's just a picture of the Hungry and Eat Popcorn on the movie that he played it on, The Picnic. Okay, as As I said, media decided to run with the idea. What company wouldn't want to if it would increase their sales? So different marketing areas decided to start experimenting with subliminal messaging. Radios used whisper ads. They would whisper something this quiet, so you could barely hear it. But it was supposed to be so quiet that it went to your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. So basically, people began, once they figured out what the media was doing, because media was very open about it. They even joked about it in some commercials, and in some videos they joked about using it. So when people started hearing this, they kind of began to be concerned with it, because the media was controlling their minds. At least that's what they thought. They began to feel like the companies were manipulating them into buying their products. It left Americans feeling like they had been cornered. And this led to lots of cases coming up in court. People began to have hearings in court, and Norman Cousins, which was an American political activist at the time, even said that subliminal messages had been the most dangerous technology to ever be invented by man. So this caused quite an uproar, concerned everybody, and made everyone feel like they were brainwashed. And actually, talking about brainwashing, most of my information today came from this video. It's called Programming the Nation. It's by Jeff Warwick, and you can find that at www.programmingthenation.com. Okay, and when this became such a huge deal to the Americans, it got to the point that legal cases were getting ready to come in, and they were getting ready to take legal action against different media sources. And so it was time to find a solution. The National Association of Broadcasters, which controls all types of media, decided that they would no longer use subliminal messaging. And they did that to cover themselves. They didn't want any legal action taken against themselves. So they made the use of subliminal messaging illegal, and said that all their broadcasters could no longer use this. Because the messages, they told the public, because the messages just weren't working. But of course, as I said, it was to cover themselves, which led to Vickery's retirement. He was the mastermind of subliminal messaging, so if people are no longer going to use it, why would he want to stay in the business? After retirement, Vickery again shocked America. This time, Vickery told everyone that it was a lie. He did not perform the experiment. He just told everyone that he did. So not only did he cause an uproar in America by coming up with subliminal messaging, but an uproar because he had lied about all of it. It was too late though. He had already opened a huge can of worms. Media ran with it, people freaked out about it, so now scientists were going to try to discover it and trying to understand how it worked. Scientists began to place electrodes on people's skin, which it would detect even the smallest amount of perspiration or pulse changing, and so they would show people subliminal messages in private, just like in a doctor's room type setting, to see if the subliminal message was working. And they even went as far as placing hidden cameras in supermarkets behind the shelves, which would detect how far the people's eyes were dilating to see how interested they were in the product. Overall, the original experiments found that the mind has the ability to detect the subconscious perception. These are the skin electrodes similar to it. Of course, these are newer pictures, so it wasn't as high technology. And then they would put a camera, say right behind this box of cereal, that would be able to register this woman's pupils and how much they were dilating to show how interested she was in the product. Okay, let's see how good you guys are in detecting subliminal messages. Right here, I have a picture of the movie The Rescuers. Can anyone point out to me what's wrong with this kid's movie?
In the window.
Okay.
The naked person in the window.
Good job. This was the original home video of a children's movie again. You see right here, a naked woman in the video. Again, this caused a huge outrage, and they fixed the movie so it's no longer in there today. I have a few more examples. This one is for our glasses place. The eye chart by our glasses, So they made it to look like just one of those seeing charts, but they had a hidden message in there to provoke you to buy their glasses. This one, again, I'll let you guys decide for yourselves what this ketchup company is advertising. And Tostitos, we all love those chips. And their subliminal message, right here in the middle, you have two people with a chip and salsa, which is supposed to make people think that it's a family-friendly product and that it'll cause them to have more fun and overall a better product. Okay, so how does subliminal messaging work? Subliminal messaging, as I said, it reaches beyond your conscious mind. So it goes to the subconscious. According to the medical dictionary online, the subconscious mind is below the level of conscious perception. So it reaches our mind, but we don't notice it. Again, this is all a review, but this was thought to lead to unaware decision making. When it reaches your subconscious is when the people began to make decisions that they may not have made before. So this is why it was scaring Americans so bad. Present day research has become a little more scientific, of course, with the advancement of medical and science. On March 9th, 2007, University College of London did new research on subliminal messaging using an MRI. So this time they were actually able to see in the brain where people's minds were reacting to subliminal messages. What they did is the original experiment, they showed different hidden pictures or subliminal messages to people while going through an MRI. It did show some reaction. So the people's brains did actually react to the invisible pictures. That wasn't enough to tell them, though, how it worked. So they did the second part. The second part, they had people put on a pair of glasses that I'm assuming would be similar to like 3D glasses, and they flashed pictures in the glasses while having them perform different activities. When the person was performing a more simple activity, the brain reacted, but when the person was performing a harder activity, the brain did not react to the subliminal messages or the hidden pictures at all. That proves that attention in our mind is needed for subliminal messages to work. If our brain is too busy to interpret it, no matter what, it's not going to get into our minds. And that broke big news, because the old belief was that no matter what, subliminal messaging could reach the subconscious, and it got into the back of our brain and influenced our decision. With the present day research, we still haven't figured out everything about subliminal messaging, but we do know that it is partially the conscious brain that has to allow it to be to the subconscious. So the uproar that Vickery caused was probably it was just a scare, because really it hadn't been researched that much, and today it still hasn't been researched a whole lot. As science advances, they'll probably research it more. And this is just a picture of the brain. Subliminal messaging caused an outrage in Americans, and today, actually in the UK, it is illegal, against the law illegal, and we continue to research it. Maybe someday they'll find out a reason behind it, and whether it works or not, they may not. I appreciate you guys coming today and listening for my speech. These are all my sources that I used, so if you're interested in any of those, they're right there for you. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. Thank you
Interesting.
guys.
Thank you.